So, here we go. Today, we are going to make a stir-fry vegetable over steamed rice. So what we're going to do is we are going to start with about a cup of rice, and then we're going to put a cup and a half of water. So everybody says, oh, rice. It's a 2-to-1 ratio, water to rice. However, that is a 2-to-1 ratio. 1 cup of rice, 1.5 cups of water. We have to get the volume weight thing squared away. So in other words, a cup of rice is not 8 ounces. A cup of rice is 5-6 ounces depending on the rice. And a cup and a half of water is 12 ounces. So there's your 2-to-1 ratio. So as far as the stir fry goes, we're going to get our pan. It's kind of like a wok here with a little bit of oil, maybe a touch more, all right? Not much, all right? You'd think I cook with a lot of butter and all that, so I'm gonna try to keep it a little bit low fat today. Steamed rice, stir-fry vegetables, cook quickly. And what I'm cutting here is a Japanese bias, is what I was taught, and what I call it. And that's celery. It just looks nice that way. I mean, I could cut on a bias this way, but I like the Japanese bias. You know, you get that nice U shape. Just be careful, because if you catch the top of your fingers, it hurts. Trust me. Now the carrots, I'm going to cut on a regular bias. And the trick here is to challenge myself. So I started the rice, and it's going to take 15 minutes, and I should stir that once a month, right? Bring it up to a quick boil. I did start out with hot water, warm water anyway, and once that comes to a boil, we're going to turn it down, but it's going to take about 15 minutes. So 15 minutes and a little bit more carrots because of color. Ratio cooking here. And so that means I'm going to be done with my stir fry in exactly 15 minutes. And I'm never going to turn off the heat because I don't like really long videos. So I try to make it as efficient as possible. So, and notice that these 3 vegetables, I don't like that. Here. Nicer onion. Okay, these 3 vegetables, carrot, onion, and celery, are the fonds of cuisine. Okay, they're our mirepoix. So even in Chinese cooking, if you want to call it that, they add a lot of flavor and depth. So they could take a lot of heat. They go in first. Okay, so now our rice, can you see that? Oh yeah, you can kind of see that. Got my brand new iPod stand, recommended by Llama, if you're watching. And so, working out really well. So now these are my vegetables. They're hard vegetables. They're hearty vegetables. They could take the heat. So we're going to cook them first, all right? I want to make sure my pan is smoking, all right? Smoking. But we could get going on our other vegetables, get them ready too, all right? The mushrooms, we go in the order of cooking times, and we can combine vegetables if they're going to take about the same cooking time. And the whole idea here is to my first vegetables that go in, my carrot, my onion, and celery, they're going to be about half cooked, and then we're going to add more vegetables. And then they're going to be, that's enough mushrooms, and they're going to be, let's say, 3/4 cooked. Then I'm going to add my softer vegetables, and then they're going to be finished, everything's going to be finished cooking at the same time, and my rice is going to be done. That's the plan. All right, so we line them all up in the order they're going in, and I'm going to cook on high heat. It's stir fry, so this is a lesson in cooking methods, right? And you don't want them too small and you don't want them too big. And you could vary your size depending on cooking time. So you can see that my pan is smoking, right? So let's get those in. All right. Remember, I'd say about half cooked. You can tell by their shrinkage. And we want a little bit of, let's get this pepper. I'm going to cut that into kind of triangles and stuff. Now peppers can be crispy. All right, so you want them maybe a little bit big, right? So they don't cook too fast. All right. So, and they can go in with the mushrooms. All right. The broccoli. I should cut my stem. Cut the stem small. All right. Cut the stem small so that cooks. And these are small florets, so they're going to cook quick. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put the stem in with my peppers and mushrooms. And now a little bit of bok choy here, baby bok choy. Now, of course, the leaves are going to be cooked quick. And they'll go in at the end, because I don't want them like too mushy. Cut them a little bit big, they'll wilt down. Alright? Now as far as the stem goes, let's cut out that core. Oh, my dog's gonna love that. They love bok choy. I think all the cabbages. Alright, so we're gonna keep that kind of big. And all right, so we better get this in there now, because that's about half cooked. All right. And we'll wait on that. That'll go in actually with the broccoli. Oh, one more stem. Get that out of there. All right. So we're gonna have maybe enough vegetables to make a little fried rice, because I have some leftover rice. Okay, so we'll put that aside. That goes there. That's going to go in. And let's start to get our squashes. I have a lot of vegetables. I might skip the zucchini. This can stay kind of soft. I'm cutting this a little thick because I don't like wilted yellow squash or zucchini for that matter. And so we're going to make that kind of bold. That's going to go in last. Now, ginger. Now in Oriental Kitchen, back at school, we were told to start with our garlic and our ginger. But I don't believe in that. Ginger may be okay, but the garlic, you know, you have a tendency to burn it, and you don't want to do that. So I like to kind of stick that somewhere in the middle. And the ginger gives a lot of flavor. It's a great item. And, you know, again, like I mentioned last time, if you could smell it when you start chopping it, and all those juices coming out, that's volatile flavors. Okay, we better get that in. And we could help that along a little bit, since my pot's getting too crowded anyway for a good stir fry. So you gotta adapt as you go along. You can't just say, hey, cook it on medium heat 5 minutes. You know, you gotta watch, you gotta study your food, and then you make some decisions along the way. You look how it's cooking, you know what you like. All right, so we're gonna do, and your knives get dull. Tune them up. Tune them up, right? Keep them tuned. So they cut like a, so I want to really cut this garlic thin, like they did on, where they do it? The movie Goodfellas. Okay, I can see the broccoli starting to cook, and so we got to rush things along a little bit. Rice is near done. You see that? All right, and let's get a few tasting spoons out. and just make sure it's tender. I'll have to finish cooking. Let's get our ginger in there. So you should let rice sit as long as it takes to cook it. All right. So I could turn it off and let it sit and take up that residual water, but and as far as this goes, I know I was going to keep it all vegetarian, but here's a chicken stock, and that's Chinese cooking where they generate the steam right at the end to give those vegetables a last little blast. And we got to get our garlic in there. So just like Goodfellas where they cut it thin, but they use a razor blade. So there we go. And then we'll finish and make our sauce. All right. I don't want to burn my rice, so I'm going to turn it off. And I'm going to get this garlic in there. See, the bok choy is nice and wilted. That looks pretty good. I think a little bit more garlic, right? Chicken stock's almost evaporated. All right, so this time, like I said, I'm not mashing the garlic. I did mince. You don't mash ginger. Sometimes recipes say mashed ginger and chopped garlic. This really should be mashed garlic, chopped ginger. You can't mash ginger. It's too fibrous. This is some Chinese hot mustard. Okay, because now we're looking for flavor, right? And I want to add a lot of soy sauce and sesame oil. Okay, sesame oil is not a cooking oil. Whoa, sesame oil is not a cooking oil. Sesame oil is a finishing oil for flavor. Okay, give it that flavor. We're going to toast some sesame seeds. As a matter of fact, we're going to take our rice off and we're going to toast these up. Now, always toast dry. Okay, that's ready. And a little bit of soy, not too much. I don't want it too dark. It's a nice soy though. It's a naturally brewed soy, whatever that really means. This is a little mirin. It's a little sweet rice wine. Okay, and that's it. We don't want to overcook it. Make sure our mustard's mixed in, and take our spoon and all right, wash your hands once a month. Now, toast dry. What do I mean by that? Any kind of nuts, sesame seeds, honey seeds, spices, you toast dry, no oil, no butter, okay? Let them get toast, let the aromas come out. It takes the staleness out of them. Let's see. All right, we'll serve this kind of family style. So we take some rice, all right? Make sure our seeds aren't burning. Just get them a little bit toasted on some low heat. Get some rice. Sorry, the pot's facing the camera, but you'll see soon enough. All right. And now, of course, you could have added shrimp or chicken or pork, anything you want. I would have cooked that meat first. And also to help with the timing of the cooking, if you had a big enough wok, you kind of put vegetables up along the side, right? There we go. And that's got to be a little bit more full there. And A little bit full there. Okay. A little bit of volatile oils. Okay. Now, so that's that. Gonna taste it. And you could always finish it with some more sesame oil, some soy sauce. Season up that rice a little bit. Okay, that's excellent. That's excellent. So, fried rice. Take some leftover rice from the day before. This was this morning, so it's not really quite right, but it gets hard in the refrigerator and the grains get separated. And so this is just really the same thing except mixing your rice right into it, all right? Again, ratio cooking. So what does that mean? Ratio of ingredients relative to one another. So you do it to your own taste. How much rice, how much vegetables you like, you know? So this, I'm just going just enough to heat up the rice. And we'll find ourselves apparatus to put them in. And the rice is just plain bland steamed rice. So we're gonna give it a little bit of soy, a little bit of sesame oil, and then that's it. There you have it. So, the lesson, cooking methodology, cooking methods, stir fry, and some vegetable cuts, and uniformity and size to go along with your cooking times. That's it. Thanks for watching.